Hi everybody, welcome to the channel for a new battle report. Sorry I had a little bit of a delay between this one and the last one. The reason being I was waiting for my usual statistical program that I use, which is a Drushi. It's a tool not made by myself, but I use it very regularly as you know, and I like to include it in my battle report, and at the moment it doesn't work. I've been waiting a week and it still doesn't work, so I can't wait more before releasing new battle report, but I'm hoping that it will work again because I think it's an amazing tool and I'm not aware of any other similar tool that would allow me to make easily statistics about combat and so on, which I like a lot. So if you are aware of any other tool that could do that, let me know. Guys, second game of Interregio. We are facing another French team that performed also well in the first round and was paired against their Dwarven. Pairing went quite well. We have 2 mirror matches. We have overall 3 positive matchup, 2 equal and 1 negative matchup. So we felt okay with that. Yeah, we will see how that goes. My list, you know it already. This was my opponent's list, which is basically an MSU dwarf with 2 big block of Old Guardian. I think that's the special thing in this list. The rest is, as always, you need to check out the War Machine. We have Organ Gun runecrafted, Catapult runecrafted, and Ballista runecrafted. And the rest has a bit of magic, plenty of small unit that provide plenty of shots to his list, and it has also 3 chaff pieces between the Vengeance Seeker and the 2 Copters. We were playing Marching Column and Capture the Flags, and below you have the spell selection. Here, worth mentioning the fact that he has quadruple Revocation rune, which is something I discovered in this matchup. Basically, it makes more or less his Organ Gun invincible to magic missiles. So basically, if he casts a Rune of Revocation, I will not, the next spell that I'm going to cast, for example, the next time that I cast Grave Call, it's automatically dispelled. Meaning, it creates, basically I lose some dice if I cast any spell on it, so it just makes it immune to most of my spell, and it just has to dispel the Toxic Breath, basically. But other than that, yeah, I'm not going to do much between Mark for Doom and Grave Call. And also to shooting has hard cover. So basically it's more or less impossible to kill from distance, which I found really strong. I didn't know about that combo. Even with Binding Scroll, it's hard to dispel the 3 other occurrence of dispel. So I felt this is really interesting. Matchup analysis, so huge range damage output. I'm going to attack in this matchup. The Overlord needs to be careful because yeah, he has plenty of shootings. My Titan will suffer, but my infantry should be strong in this matchup. Secondary objective should easily be mine, yeah. He has a lot of small units, so I should be able to get one. And this is also, I think, the main reason that justifies a positive estimation in this matchup. Deployment-wise, we started both on the right side. I chose the side. No big difference here. I just gave him water, and I have a field here in the middle for my attack, so I felt it's decent. Basically, he elected to start from the right, put like 2 small shooting units, and then a copter, and I place slave, vassals, and a titan that I carefully measured that it's impossible to get the Organ Gun within 30 inch without hard cover, so I was fine by that, basically minimizing the right side what he might do. And after that, he surprised me, decided not to drop everything, so he put down, I think, the anvil, and I was very happy after that to deploy everything for first turn, or everything I had left. So I placed my Overlord on the right, I kept some space here to push with Titan. Here I placed my Bastion, slaves, Lugars, vassals, and the Nafta Thrower Kalim Titan. He places miners in ambush, and then we have Bolt Thrower, we have 1 copter, 2 copters, we have the Catapult, Anvil, Organ Gun, Old Guardian, the small Vengeance Seeker, and then here you have all the small unit with here all the way in the back the Engineer and the BSB. Let's start with my turn 1, so obviously I push. He carefully minimized my range damage turn 1, so I'm not going to do anything. I remember I failed the breast weapon, and after that, that was more or less it. His turn 1, he didn't move much, basically just shuffles around, move the Seeker here, and move on the right a bit forward. Magic Face, he get the Rune of Revocation on his Organ Gun. which does in shooting phase only 1 wound to my Kadim Titan, which is nice, and then he killed 2 of my Disciples of Lugas. My turn 2, I continue to push as much as I can, trying to get into good range. I turn around my Overlord to cover the angles in case he wants to attack my weakest scoring unit with the minus. I want to be ready to get him. I start to push with the slaves, get the Titan into nice position. Just tempting him with long charges at the moment. In magic phase, I get Gravecall on those old guardians. So basically I figure out I need to kill like 2 before going into combat. So now I have a magic and a shooting phase to try to kill some of those guys in the middle of his defense, basically. So I'm going to try that. Gravecall did only 1 wound, and then with the rocket battery Kadim Titan I did another 2 wounds. So that's 1 dead. His turn 2. He moves slightly back, he hides his small seeker here. The miners enter the board, but they go on the left flank. He doesn't want to expose them here, which makes totally sense. On capture the flags, the rest didn't move much, basically. In the magic phase, he got -1 to hit, I think, on those guys, and he got the revocation on the organ gun, always. Organ gun did 1 wound, another wound to my Titan, which is not great, but after that he got 3 wounds, I think 4 wounds with the 3 unit of shooter here, so crazy rolls, and then he finishes this Titan with a catapult shot. So okay, turn 2 I lost a Titan, which is somehow expected against his list. My turn 3, so I push with the slaves, forcing him to react. I place my Bastion in aggressive positioning. I place my Overlord ready to countercharge here in case he wants to come charge me. I place those guys to chaff them with no overrun. Move a bit forward with those guys. Put my Titan in position slightly forward with no overrun. I could have pushed maybe slightly more. Doesn't change much. And that's it. In the magic phase, I think a Dispel, Gravecall, and I failed. Really wanted to take the flying move here with the Titan to get into a nice position, but I failed that one. Shooting, I did, I think, 1 wound to the old guardian. I kill with the flamethrower 2 wounds of those guys, but they didn't panic, so I wanted to force panic check, but 2 wounds wasn't enough. I needed, I think, 4 wounds. Yeah, he had 14 of them, so I needed more basically to force panic check, but maybe next round. We will see. His turn 3 doesn't move much. Didn't react on the right, which surprised me. I was pretty sure that he would at least chaff me or charge me, but he decided to stay put, basically. Didn't chaff me also on the left, so we will see how that goes. In magic phase, he got revocation on the organ gun. He shot some slaves here on the right. I had 7 of them left, I think. The organ gun shoot at my Bastion, did a total of 2 wounds in the unit. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's move on to my turn. So I chaff him better. So those guys are chaffed in the flank. Those guys, I think, in the front. Here I charge. I use my Orc Slave to charge the organ gun, which is really nice because I chaff those guys at the same time, which allows me to push hard with the Bastion, shoot those guys, and move out with the Overlord. Basically, the only things that can shoot me are those 2 units. Catapult doesn't see me. Bolt thrower doesn't see me, so it's perfect. Here I push to shoot at the minus again. And also try to have the opportunity to get a small fly to be in their flank and breast weapon them. I push hard with the Lugas, ready to fight. Push with those guys a bit, and those guys go hiding. In magic phase, I get, I think, a breast weapon off. He uses the denial on my Gravecall, and I fail the fly move again. Yeah, I think that was it. Then in close combat, I did 1 wound to the organ gun, but he was stubborn. He passes his check, so everything fine. His turn 4, he countercharged with the 4 remaining old guardian. He chaffed my 2 infantry block with Coptus. He decided to combo charge my Titan, which surprised me a lot. So he hasn't lost any scoring units yet, and he decided me to charge with the minus on a 7, which he makes, and the small seeker, which was automatic. So yeah, I was a bit surprised by that. We'll see how that goes. He charged my slave, but he has no overrun into anything. And that's pretty much it. In his magic phase, he got Binding Scroll, the -1 to hit, obviously. And he got revocation on the Old Guardian. And then with those 2 units, so 20 something shots, he did 2 wounds to my Overlord, so strength 4. I have a 4 up, 5 up after his shot with 1 reroll of arm save, and I still suffered 2 wounds, which is more than I expected, to be honest. He killed the slave, and on my turn, as you will see, he miss a little bit his reform. The center of the unit, he has 3 in the front, 1 in the back, and is going to stay in the same formation. Should be like 1 inch on the left of the lake. Pretty much where the cross is, a bit forward here. And on the next picture we see that his reform is moving him in the lake, basically, which is not correct and doesn't allow my Overlord to charge the organ gun, which would have been an easier choice for me, I think. So I charge into the Old Guardian with my 2 wounds left, because that was my only interesting charge. Those guys were probably too far. I don't know if I would have taken the organ gun or not, to be honest, but I didn't have the option with the reform, at least. So here I charge, he stays, I charge, he stays. I move my Kalim Titan, minimize in front to shoot those guys in short range. In the magic phase, I got Mark for Doom on those guys, did 1 wound. I got Rot Within on, I think, those guys to make me hit on 5 maybe, and make me hit on 2s. Or still on 3s, but I think it was making him hit me on 5s. Yeah. Shooting, he made a couple of saves on his Old Guardian, so I didn't do much with the Nafta thrower, unfortunately. And then close combat, my Overlord did only 2 wounds to the Old Guardian, so I was on a 3 up rollable, on a 4 up rollable, he has a 5 up, and then I do multi-wound D3, and I managed only to do 2 wounds, meaning he can strike back with 4 models. Maybe did a wound, I'm not sure about that. He was hitting on 5, wounding on 3s, and then I have a 5, 1 reroll, and a 5 again. We stay put, so he passes his check. I didn't manage to kill the copter with 3 attack strength 6, D3 plus 1 strength 5, a crush attack, and then like 7 attack strength 3. Leave him on 1 wound, he flees. I decided to restrain. I wanted to look at the combat here in the middle where there are most points. Yeah, that's it. He's turn 5. He didn't charge here and minimize, which makes sense. As you can see, I did pretty much nothing with the Nafta. I think I did nothing, which was disappointing. I mean, 4 rollable D3 wounds, it's pretty crazy on them. Should do a lot, didn't do much. So he counter charge here, rally the fleeing copter. Those guys move past me to threaten my backline. Magic phase, he got a -1 to wound, I think, on the Old Guardian in close combat. I failed to dispel revocation on 2 dice. And then the Bolt Thrower here managed to do 3 wounds to my Kalim Titan, meaning I have only 1 wound left, which is not what I wanted just before going into close combat. Close combat here, yeah, the little guys do 1 wound, the Old Guardian do 1 wound, and I fluff again, meaning the Overlord is dead. So that was unexpected. My turn 6, I charge onto the small unit, I charge the 2 units into the Old Guardian. So the Kalim Titan is on 1 wound, but I'm going to strike first, reroll to wound. We'll see how that goes. Here I just follow him. I didn't have much time to think about the best solution, so I just gave him the small chaff. I didn't saw any better option, basically, to protect my scoring unit. I think that I could have had a better option to stay away from him or just give him a long charge and basically save those points. So that wasn't perfect. In the magic phase turn 6, I don't remember what I got. I remember that close combat, I got rid of those guys, got the overrun on a 5 into those guys, so this is perfect. Here I cleaned those guys. Kalim Titan went first, made all in with all his attack. He made a mistake, he removed those 2 models, meaning I had only 3 attack on my Titan, but that was still enough to do the last wound, unfortunately. I would have been really happy to overrun off the board, but wasn't the case. And then the Lugars went to town and killed the remaining guys. Tried to overrun, but I think I ended up just short. And that's it. And on his turn 5, I broke the Old Guardian that fled all the way off the board. He passes the multiple panic check. And he killed my mage. And that's it. Ended up being a 10-10 on points, as you can see. And I won Capture the Flag, which is a 13-7. What can I say about the games? I was really happy to start because I needed to attack. So I was eager to be able to start. I still don't know exactly why he elected not to start. Slaves allow me to push, clearly. to chaff and go for the organ gun and so on. I think I had multiple options to avoid that. Turn 4 Infernal Dwarf, perfect moment to go out for the Overlord, but what disappointment. I mean, yeah, a couple of Old Guardians, I'm going, striking first, multi-wounds, but it's only strength 5 AP 2, and against 3-up Old Guardian, resilience 5, it's not that crazy good, so yeah, really disappointing to lose 560 points. I expected more from him, to be honest. That wasn't good at all. Turn 4, Dwarven Old, risky to charge a Titan. It backfired for him. I mean, yeah, he sent me minus plus the small guy against my Titan, and basically he ended up losing both. So definitely the charge wasn't a good idea. And as a reminder, at this point in time in the game, it hasn't lost any other scoring units regarding Capture the Flag yet. So I think it would have been the right move to save those points and try to continue to defend, basically, and maybe not lose Capture the Flag, because I only got after that the 2 Old Guardian unit, but maybe I had options to avoid that. Turn 6, Dwarven Old. Unfortunately, I didn't count the point before. Usually I try to keep that in mind, and I try to follow that closely to see what I should do to optimize the point. Here I was a bit in a rush and I forgot about that, and basically I should have found out, if I would have found out a better solution, instead of chaffing with the mage, I would have saved me 1 point. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. Impossible to kill the organ gun from range with 4 times revocation, which change a bit the match, to be honest, because if you cannot kill the organ gun from distance, yeah, it's complicated. You are going to expect a lot of wounds from range damage. So yeah, it's not easy at all to deal with organ gun with 4 times revocation. Yeah, result-wise, so it ended up being close to our prediction, except the Iborn match where Andy won a 20, but the rest, as you can see, is really according our prediction, more or less, and we were able to win it close to a cap, 78, so good result for this second round, which placed us on the top table, so yeah, was a good result. Yeah, I think we managed it good, and especially a great performance from Andy here in the Iborn matchup. Guys, that's all for this second battle, so I will talk to you soon for the third game of the Interregio. Thanks, bye bye.